Hi folks, back to oils this morning. I prepared a couple of MDF boards, panels yesterday. They're quite small because I can show you how I do it. These are colours. I'm just using ultramarine, Payne's grey, cadmium yellow and some red ochre. Excuse me, for red ochre you can substitute burnt sienna or light red or Venetian red. It's a great red, but also do use light red. There's very little difference between them, and a dollop of white. I'm just going to. I want to do a sort of a Chichester Harbour one, which I've done so many times before. But if I have the horizon fairly low and some trees on here, there won't be any detail in this, and then we'll put a bit of water in here, and we'll have some distance. We might even put a little barn in there. It's going out towards the sea, which would be there. Just a very simple one. Oh, I'll need some yellow ochre if I can find some. What's that? It's light red there. That's raw yellow ochre. Yeah, that's yellow ochre. Need that from my. I can't get down the range to buy some. I have to get some online. I used to have a big tube of this, 200ml, but it lasted 20 years. And this is the way to buy your paint. If you're going to stay with oil painting, these are the 200ml tubes. They're not expensive, about £9 each. They last for ages, of course, because of the size, but the more you buy, the cheaper it is. But I would recommend something I haven't used for a while because I've run out of it, is a big 200ml tube of titanium white, but the alkyd, it's a Winsor Newton pigment, but with the alkyd resin in it, it dries everything else much quicker than just using the oily student paints that these are. I might put a bit of green out. Let's put a bit of green out. Yeah, go on. Let's push the boat out. That'll do. But the ultramarine is in a bit of a dodgy place because I invariably get my finger in it. But it all comes off. No brushwork, just a nice sky. At the moment I'm not using any cadmium red. I've just scraped what's left of it off. I'm going to have to change this palette very soon. This piece of MDF. So this is 10 inches by 8 inches. I've rubbed it down on one side of it and give it a good prime with PVA glue, slightly dilute. Oops, there's a bit of a pimple there. That's the thing that sort of the knife will catch on. That's better. Knives. Well, I'll use this one. Nice little thing. I had it for years. It's good quality. They last forever. Unless you're using the screwdrivers, in which case they won't. Got my cup of tea. And I'm just going to change my radio channel, if you don't mind, if I can. I like to listen to talk radio. Some people love. I can't find it. Love listening to music. Well, I can't play music out loud, can I? Because I get done for copyright infringement by YouTube. And it happened some years ago. I got 6 of my videos flagged because I turned my radio down and I didn't think anybody could hear it. And but I got done for copyright infringement. They weren't going to take any action. I just deleted the videos. But one was banned in Germany, and it was I was listening to some gospel music, which I like, and but I didn't think anybody could hear it. But their technology picked it up all right. So that got banned in Germany. My daughter, I put it on Facebook, and my daughter said only my dad could get banned on YouTube or Facebook, no, on YouTube, for listening to gospel music. So you have to be very careful. But I like talk radio because I don't start conducting to the music as I used to if I was listening to a Beethoven symphony or something. I'm not really. I like popular music. I like all sorts of music. I spent a lot of time trying to learn the flamenco guitar, but now I'm too. I still play, but I can't. My fingers are not agile anymore. My wrists hurt too much. But I like to keep in with it. My friend who helps me out is a professional player, a wonderful guitarist. I just love flamenco. Right, okay. Enough about me. Let's put in a bit of sky. So ultramarine. Right, let's a nice bit of blue. I'm not too bothered about mixing all my colours up before I start. I can approximate them as I go along. I can repeat the colour, but I just want to get some nice ultramarine in there, and then we can make that lighter as we come down to the horizon. Let's just blend that. If you like knife painting, I love it. It's my favourite way of painting. I like the spontaneity of it. And the great knife painter, well, there have been a lot of knife painters. Courbet, an impressionist, was a great knife painter, but recently Sir Catherine Williams, spelled Kyaffin, a great Welsh painter. He died several years ago. They're very elderly. Left £12 million. Quite incredible. Right, now we'll have a bit of ochre. He painted North Wales and Anglesey where he lived, and I don't ever remember seeing any brush paintings by him. But he did go to art school. Some of us weren't that fortunate. Well, he didn't have an interest in art. I didn't. I'll put a bit of red in some now. But he used quite a limited palette of drab colours because North Wales is very, very wet. I'll just paint down to my little sketchy bit. So I want dark in here, a dark contrast with the cad yellow pale and the I'll try the Payne's grey. But if you do this, don't, or you want to have a go at it, don't use too many colours. It just causes confusion. I've got 2, 4, 6 colours, but I might not use them all, and I don't use much. I won't use much blue other than in the sky. But I'm going to try and do another one after this, and then I'll go for my bike ride. Got to keep the old lungs expanded in this lockdown period, but we are allowed to go out for exercise, but we've got to keep our distance, of course. Okay, put some of that. Okay, ochre, plenty of white, a bit of red. Not a bad setup, is it? I can't do it for the large paintings, obviously. I try to tell you what I'm using, but I sometimes get carried away, lost in the painting, and I forget. But you can always ask me. This area, I'm only guessing this. I mean, it's not accurate. I gave up copying from photographs years ago. But if you work from photographs, and I do, my own photographs, is to just do an impression. Don't copy them slavishly. Just use them as an aid memoir. But I've done this quite a few times, and some turn out quite nicely and some not so good. Right, let's get a bit of cloud shadow in there. I don't know if that's a good colour or not. No, I won't use that. Let's get rid of that. I'll put some bit more white out, not a lot. Very messy. I've got 2 tubes of this white, this 200ml tube white, titanium white, and I bought two of the ultramarine, but I use a lot of them. But white you'll always use. You need about 4 times as much white as any other colour, really, because it gets in everything. I'll put a red roof on that barn. That might take some doing. Let's just bring that blue over there a little bit. Okay, so we've feathered the edge of that cloud. Let's get a bit of white. Get that here. No, that's in the primer. come down there to the horizon, a bit of white. Now I'll probably spend more time doing that barn than anything else. Push the paint in. Well, it's an interesting sky, isn't it? Might not be a very good sky, but it's interesting. I've got itchy eye now. You also need a lot of paper. I've got some more PVA glue arriving. Well, it should have come Wednesday or Thursday, but it hasn't. Hopefully it'll come today. But things being the way they are, we've got to make allowances. I know. Let's just bring a bit of that blue, light blue. Into there, just to make relieve some of that monotony there. Just vary that shape a bit, I think. Just blending it a little bit. But you can leave all your knife marks showing. I mean, it's just very attractive as well. Right, so we'll have this barn. I'll mix a bit of ochre with it. Go uphill a bit there. Oh, that's quite tricky there. All right, let's get a bit of Payne's grey, I think, with a bit of red. Oh, I could make them white, couldn't I? Let's just bring that. Right, let's get some. We could have white. We could have a nice white barn. Okay. I'll put trees around there just to highlight them. Right, let's just look at that for a minute. So I'm not quite happy with that shape here. That's hard. Right, let's start putting a bit of tree in now. So let's get that, so get some yellow. Make a nice green. A bit of blue in there because we want a bit of bluey green. Where was I knocking that out of there? Let's see if we can just modify. I want bluey, blue-green. Oh, that's a bit more blue than that. Got to keep that nice and straight there. But this is Chichester Harbour. It's not a harbour as you would think of, like a load of boats, and that's it. The harbour itself is some very large inlets and isthmuses. I don't know. And they go in and out, and it goes between Portsmouth and West Witterings, or the Witterings, and we've got some almost islands sticking out, and the whole area is called Chichester Harbour. It's just beautiful. I love it. We used to tow a trailer, camping trailer down there, and we would walk. The camping club site was just over the road, and we could walk onto the marshes. So a bit more distant there, I think. Not too much because it's quite a small painting, and this is where you get your finger in the juice. Okay, let's get a bit of that bluey colour in here. So that blue just hopefully gives it a bit of distance. Right, I'll put a bit of foliage in front of that barn. Or you can disguise that a little bit there. Okay, that'll do. I'm not going to put any windows in. It's a white painted barn with a red roof. We're doing it such a small scale, it's quite tricky. Okay, now let's get some nice colours in here now. I'll use a bit of green. Soften some of that. We'll have a little bit of I want some dark in that in the to the right of that tree. Okay, this could be yellow oak, could it be yellow? Just to create an impression of a tree or a bunch of trees. Now I want to put in all the way along there some ochre, some very light ochre. Because this is all grass. Got to vary all that. Don't want it all the same colour. We can put a little bit of red in there as well. Not that much. So sorry about slurping, but I just got it before it's it got too cold to drink. I have to try and make sure I finish these in less than an hour, otherwise my camera will set off another video then I have to do the editing, and I don't like that. Well, it's a bit of a shadowy colour now. You had a really interesting knife painter in Nancy Kaminsky in the US. I used to watch her on TV when I sort of started to get interested in painting. Let's just blend that a bit. I don't want any solid lines there. Right, let's just get a bit of that whites and ochre in there. I put some of that shadowy colour in here. Okay, now we've got a nice bit of light coming over that water there. Right, I'll put a bit of blue in there, I think. Right, now we've got to put all this foreground in now. It's a bit of sparkling now, I think. Bit of that yellow. Right, now grass, well, red, ochre, white. The ochre is quite strong. So we put a bit of blue with that. More white than red. That's some grass. See that green? That's mixed with the with the yellow and the Payne's grey. Let's just turn that around there. More of that. Oh, I like that. So I don't even need that sap green really. So I've just varied the colours in here. Now we're going to get a bit of shadow there. Although the light would be coming from the other way, wouldn't it? Probably. Now, the sea is that way, so we will be facing south in midday, so there would be some light coming on there. So that's as I remember. So I just want this all, it's all broken up here. All the colours we've been using. Because you've got to leave something for the viewer to put in. Don't let the picture do all the painting, all the talking, shall I say. Right, well, let's put some shadowy colour, so the red and blue, the white. I get a dark green. That might make a better shadow colour. Ooh, no, I was trying to do some trunks. I'm not going to bother. Okay, well, I don't think there's much more I can do with that. Put some more of that dark green in, I think. Really want a darker colour on that edge of the water there. Well, let's put a dark green in. So if you need a bit of counter change, then do a bit of counter change. I want that water to show. Yeah, I hope you're all coping with this lockdown and whatever. Okay, barn I'll have to do. I'll put that in a mount. So I just get my fingers on my new apron. I'll remove that. I'll clean that up and we'll do the other one. Oh, God, that hurt my wrist. Right, take this off. Always cover your knees with a pinafore, penny apron. My son's a chef and well, he's quite well known in the trade in London. And he works, he's a head pastry chef of Caprice Holdings and they're all shut down. Not forever, we hope. And this apron is from Scott's. Don't tell anyone. Right, I cut these boards to fit. I actually cut them to fit, make sure they fit. Because there's nothing worse than trying to put a picture that's a near fit, because you haven't paid much attention to the size of it, and then you have to stop and sand it down a bit. Not very good with the wet painting. Don't bang your pins in. Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Don't bang your pins in too hard, too far. One, you can use your pins again, the veneer pins, and you can get them out quite easily. They're just a displays. Well, they're a nice little painting. Right, let's go in a bit closer to that. I could have zoomed that. But there we are. Nice little Saltmarsh scene with a knife. It's very tricky doing this with a knife. It's really shaky hands. But work from the top to the bottom, because if you don't, if you start from the bottom, by the time you're doing the sky, you're dragging your little finger in all the paint. But you've got some nice contrasts in there. I'm quite happy with that. The sky is interesting. Plenty going on there. I hope you like that one. I'll get this uploaded now and do another one. Thanks for looking in. Bye bye.